Welcome everybody to tonight's Board of Trustees meeting. Tonight is October 26th. An advisory from the Mass Department of Public Health has been issued for all non-vaccinated and fully vaccinated people to wear a mask in public indoor settings in areas of substantial or high transmission. Shrewsbury-Worcester County has been categorized as a high level of community transmission for over a month. Therefore, we require that all employees and visitors in all municipal buildings wear a face mask. Exemptions from the mask requirement include those with a medical or other eligible condition. In addition, we ask all those attending the meeting to practice social distancing, leaving space between yourself and other non-related parties also attending the meeting. The board, committee, commission members here tonight will also be masked and practicing social distancing through their seating arrangements. When speaking, we do ask that your face mask remains on. Thank you. So, I'm called the meeting to order, and the first item on our agenda is to review and act to approve minutes from our last meeting, which was on September 28th.
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're going to take things a little bit out of order today as we have some new employees of the library to meet. So I wanted to perhaps just take that whole category now, personnel.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. I'd like to welcome Jessica Datry, our new reference librarian. I think you've been here for over a month now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been over a month. And Amanda Burnett is the part-time reference librarian.
Oh, wonderful.
Welcome.
Welcome. Glad to have you.
Great. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jess. I'm the new reference librarian. I just finished my master's in library information studies in May. I've been here about 6 weeks, having a great time. Everyone is very nice and welcoming, and Amanda and I are working on reorganizing the reference area, the Library of Things, promoting our adult programming. And I'm excited about November upcoming, Indigenous Peoples Month, getting some new books for that as well. So that's sort of what's on our horizon right now.
Wonderful. And so where were you before here?
I was actually working at Northeastern University.
Amanda has been with us for a few years, and she's just moved from the circulation desk to the reference desk.
Been here for I think about 3.5 years. Initially, as Priya said, primarily circulation. And then during the pandemic, I started to do a little bit of adult service work and kind of crossed over between both. And now I'm excited to be in the reference area fully and part-time. But it's great. And prior to coming here, I came from a nonprofit background, about 9.5 years in nonprofit, but very happy to be here. Love being here, so that's great.
Great. Wonderful. Well, welcome.
Thank
Happy
you.
to have you.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you.
You are no excuse.
Do you want to continue on with personnel?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So we've hired for the 16-hour position that had been vacant because Ying Dan had been appointed for the 19-hour position. So Anne Sweetman, actually that's a typo, I don't know how I got the last name wrong. It's Anne Sweetman, and she started last week. She'll be working 3 days a week, and her background is she's a retired high school teacher. Yeah, she's very, very enthusiastic about working in a library. And the Sunday children's librarian position has been filled. Seema Kanitkar, who's been working as a page for the last 2 years at the library, is the new children's librarian on Sundays, and she started this past Sunday. At our last meeting, Claire, you had asked me about benefits that a 19-hour position person gets, and I had said that they would get, vacations, all the vacation and sick leave and
Okay.
personal day. But I was wrong when I said that they also get pension benefits, so they're not part of the pension plan, and they don't get healthcare. So the 19-hour position is just the paid vacation time.
Okay, yeah. I was surprised because I just remember when I was on the finance committee, that was usually the policy to keep people at 19 hours and no more
Right.
because of the issues with pension plan and what have you.
Right, yeah, so I'm sorry I gave the wrong
Oh, that's okay.
information.
That's okay.
Do they have an option to join medical, through Shrewsbury and just pay?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think they're
Just
gonna
out of
do
curiosity.
But they didn't used to. I just
Yeah.
knew. Yeah.
I wonder what the floor is, how many hours you have to work to get full.
That
Is
must
it
be the full.
the full, so
It's
37.5
hours, yes.
well, no, don't you get it if you're over 20 hours?
You have to be over 20, but they went to 19 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's-
No, but I just wondered if people who were 19 hours could opt in and just pay through the Shrewsbury plan rather than having to do something independently. I don't
Well, I
know.
would have to find out that information, yeah.
Just curious, because it's so expensive.
But going from 18 to 19 got them some vacations. So
Yes,
that's-
the
Yeah, that's-
vacation,
oh, yeah,
that's
they-
nice,
yeah.
Definitely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So we kind of went out of order. Let's go back to review and act to approve the report of the director's activities for September of 2021. Per usual, it sounds like it's been a busy month.
It has been, yeah. Have any specific questions? I'm happy to answer.
How many people are involved with the 50-plus job seekers program? Do you have any, I know that's a collaborative type of program, but do you have any sense of how it's being received?
They give us the total number of people who attend, and it's about 20 to 25. So we don't know how many are from Shrewsbury,
Yeah,
or
right.
they found out from our library. But the average attendance has been pretty good.
Good, good.
I wanted to ask you about the international group that you're working
Oh,
with, the
yes.
Memory Cafe.
So this was an international group of musicians, so the
Oh.
performers were international. And because they had advertised in their areas, which is Scotland, the main musicians were from Scotland. And there were a couple from Texas and somewhere else in the Northeast. So they had advertised in all these areas. So we had an audience of people from Scotland, from Texas, and of course our group from Massachusetts and some other places. So it was really cool to see
Yeah.
that, that it's become such a collaborative thing around the world.
That's great. Thank you.
Sure.
Priya, I have a question. Do you think that because you did so many virtual meetings, do you think that that you've been able to participate in more of these meetings because they're virtual? I mean, would you have been able to attend all of those?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
Yeah, I think I've been able to attend more because they are virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah, the travel time is,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But this month, I mean September, it's been generally local kind of meetings. I haven't done any other meetings.
Right.
And we just started meeting in person in September. I mean the staff meeting and
Right.
that, but by the end of September, we were asked to go back to virtual.
And did the Memory Cafe, you move to the senior center?
No, the senior center used to offer the Memory Cafe before the pandemic. We
okay.
had started offering it on the first and third Friday of the month, and they had been offering it on the second and fourth Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Friday, second and fourth Friday. And during the pandemic, they did not offer it virtually, only we continued to do that. They just started the in-person memory cafes. So I wanted to see how it was there.
Oh, okay.
So I just attended that. So a few of our former friends from, a year ago, and it was really nice. So we are also going to start in November. So the first Friday, we are going to do in person. We'll see how many people attend. And the third Friday, we're going to offer it virtually.
Oh, okay,
That's great.
good. Did you notice that if some of the folks that come here also go to the senior center?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They used to go,
So every week there was
every
something.
week, yes, they were very
Nice.
happy about that.
Good.
Yeah.
And if I may ask that, did all social distancing, masking, all that, in spite of all that, that was able to be go fairly normally and be a good experience at the
For the
senior
memory
center?
cafe?
Yes,
You mean at the senior center?
yes.
Yes, they did. I mean, we all used to offer refreshments before, so now there's no food, there's just water that we offer. And there was what was it? It wasn't a musician, there was a person doing magic tricks that day. So
Okay.
people were just sitting and watching that. Yeah, it was pretty good. And here I think we can do a better job because we have more space. And I plan to have the tables something like this where there's just one family, a couple sitting at each table and following the same thing with masks.
Yeah. Good, good.
social
That's good news.
distancing.
Good. Any other questions or comments?
How many applicants did you have for the 16-hour part-time circulation position?
I think we had, I should have gotten the number. I think we had 3 or 4. I'm sorry, I'll get the number
That's okay.
and share that later.
Sorry,
That information.
That's fine. STEM Beginnings. I'm just not familiar with that group.
What is that?
Uh,
Oh, STEM is
They sponsor the Young
science.
Scientist Program. I'm just a little, if you would, a little background on STEM Beginnings. I'm just not.
Oh, sure. I think it is the group that is at the YWCA. We partner with them to offer STEM-related programs for kids.
For kids. Yeah.
It's a company started by a Shrewsbury mom who was a former preschool teacher, and she's just been growing it. They have a location in Westboro. They do after-school classes at the elementary schools, and it's really fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
they came to St. Mary's. It was great.
Yeah, they're really, really well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's Barbara
Great, thank you.
Jarrett, right?
Yes.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, any other comments or questions about the director's activities for September?
She's busy.
As always.
Yes. Right, if not, I think we have to, I guess we don't have to vote on that, right? Oh, no, we do. Review and act to approve. So I have a motion to. So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next on the agenda is programs and services, director's report of program, oh, we just did that.
Yeah, we could
No,
just
I'm
look
sorry.
at the stats.
Yeah, the stats.
Oh,
Yeah, I
right.
just wanted to point out that we have 359
I saw
new
that. I
library
circled it.
members. Yes.
That's amazing.
So we did a targeted outreach this time. September was library card sign-up month, and Melissa and Deb Mayo reached out to the schools, all the elementary schools. She sent emails to everyone and provided the library card applications, asked the teachers to promote it with the students, so they sent it to the parents, and that is one factor that's contributed to this number. And I was just looking at the stats from 2019. 2020, of course, is not a reflection of what the library was like. So 2019, the highest had been 280 in June. In June, the schools again push, before the summer, push the kids to get library cards. So that had been the highest number before.
Wow.
And so this year, in 2021, in July we had 297 because the library we were open regular hours. But this was because of the outreach that we did. So very happy with those.
That's great.
Did
Please
you
tell
also
them we appreciate it.
Did you also promote it at the Spirit of Shrewsbury, getting a library card?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so that was
But there we
another
were promoting the Friends
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
But of
yeah.
course, if people asked about the library
They all-
card,
you
we'll
all-
provide that information.
Yes. Wonderful.
I think your visitors are almost up to pre-pandemic numbers as
Almost.
well.
Almost, yes.
They're
Yeah.
almost 25,000, and I think it was maybe 29,000
Yeah,
per
I
month
mean,
before.
the visitors would be about 1,000, no, sorry, you're talking about the people coming into the library,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the second bullet,
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
almost 25,000 visitors
Right,
to the library every
Yeah.
month, which is
That's amazing.
which is
Which is-
amazing.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
How do you count that, Priya? Is there a people count?
We have a people counter at the entrance.
Okay. Very good. All right, moving on, financial and legislative, need to review and act upon the year-to-date report.
We are on target.
So just under library operating expenses, the fourth item down, it says that we're at 103.9% of the percentage used, is that?
Under the salaries?
Library, I think it's library operating expense.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the professional services.
Yes, yeah.
Professional services, yes. That was the extra amount there is the salary of the part-time, the bibliotemps person.
Okay.
Remember the
Okay, yes,
reference,
yep, 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 yep.
temp reference librarian. And
Okay.
this amount is going to be moved to the salaries.
Okay, I see.
At the, the special town meeting, we would have voted for
Okay,
that.
yep. Okay. Any other thoughts? No? Okay. How about if we?
Under the budget, I also wanted to mention that the town manager has given the timeline for the fiscal year 2023 budget. And the departments have to have the operating and the capital budgets due by December 30th. So I will prepare the draft. I'll start working on that now. And at the November meeting, I'll present it to all of you. And once it's approved by the board, then I'll be ready to submit it to the town manager.
Never ends, huh?
It's not yet 22, but we have
I
to
know,
start planning for
2023.
23.
I know.
That's
Okay.
why we have the action plan ready.
And here's the action plan. Is there anything that is added onto this or deleted from the previous action?
Slight changes have been made based on what we were able to accomplish in 21 and, projecting for 23 and considering the new staff that we have and so the need for various services. The youth services team is in some places mentioned together for the children's versus young adult.
Yep.
Yeah. The maker space is something that we've added in the last service priority.
Oh,
Providing new technology for patrons to explore. Goal 5E actually. The children's services team also has research, develop and implement a library maker space, and for the adults also we included that, research, develop and implement a maker space. As you all know, we have the learning lab just for that purpose of having programs on technology and using our library of things for various groups to come and actually do things at the library. And we weren't able to do it this past year, so that's a goal for the next year.
I like the action plan of the planning 2 programs to train people about the proper use of the library of things.
Yes.
A lot of people, I don't think, realize that we have that resource.
Right,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
I think that's because, we really need something on the website that they can just click on.
You will see it.
Are we gonna have that and then?
You will see it at the end. I plan to demonstrate our website, new website. Yeah,
Right.
a little bit of it.
I was wondering, what kind of things go in the makerspace?
Makerspace could be, using the computers, of course, for computer classes or doing creative projects. We have sewing machines and we have a couple sewing machines now. So we were planning a sewing club. We had actually started planning it in before March 2020, stuff like that. I mean, even a knitting group can be makers. So you're encouraging people to create, do things like DIY activities. We are providing the space for that. Of course, it'll be facilitated if it's computer classes, learning about 3D printing. I mean, stuff that we are already doing, but in a more robust fashion.
Really getting the community together as well.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. The emphasis is on the community members being creators rather than just consumers. It's not that we provide these services, come and use them, but you can come and use our space to do things.
And to learn from each other.
Exactly.
Just a comment on the Library of Things. I was in the Dover Public Library, it was a few years ago, and they used some of their lower shelving, and they actually had a number of the things on display, which was impressive to me because unless you are really aware of it as a patron, you might not realize that those things exist. But by seeing, they have an ice cream maker, and you can, a sewing machine or a microscope or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't all of them, but just,
a sample.
Yeah. This is just a sampling of what
Sure.
we have, kind of thing. I don't know if we'd have.
Yeah, we can
space
definitely consider doing that, a display.
It's a good idea.
Just, just so people say, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know I could,
We could
borrow
use our
a
display
chocolate
case.
fountain. Right?
Yeah, we could use a display case too.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
Right.
smaller things, maybe
At the
a
edges.
sample of things, and
Yeah.
then have flyers,
Yeah.
pictures of the
The other
others.
side.
Yeah.
That's great.
We're not just books.
Yes. I don't think the gardening tools are safe to display, but
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you can make it seasonal too.
Right.
So in the spring you do have,
Yeah.
more gardening sort of
Gloves.
things.
Something big.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to point out with the action plan?
I don't think so.
The new website is very integral to some of the goals in the
Right.
action plan.
Right,
Yeah.
yes. yeah, it's, I mean, even after it's launched, you have to keep maintaining it and make sure it's got accurate current information.
Yeah.
And who will be doing the maintenance?
The electronic resources librarian, technology specialist, the reference librarian, I think all of us actually,
Because you
should
need
be
multiple
looking at
people. Yeah.
reviewing stuff. We find so many mistakes or different things that, how did that get in there? Even now, we find that, so.
But will the town have some access to it as well?
No, it would just be us. We will have a link to the town website, but this would be just the library website.
Yeah.
Well, I like how the action plan is really a living plan.
Yeah. Yeah, it provides a, roadmap for us when we plan. Now that we are all submitting our goals, creating our own goals, all staff members, and this helps the individual employees create their goals. And of course, it'll help with the budget plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so moving on to our separate, well, actually,
Do
the
we need
next.
to approve the,
I don't think so.
Yes, actually, I think we do.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
That's
didn't
okay,
include
I guess
that.
we do.
Yeah.
Okay,
It has
so
to be.
can somebody make a motion to approve the year-to-date report? And I
So
guess-
moved.
The action plan.
The
Action plan.
Just the action?
Just the
plan?
action
Okay,
plan,
all
yes.
right. So will somebody make a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Right, so moving on to facility, equipment, and grounds.
Don't have anything.
Anything from the subcommittee on that? No, okay. Gifts and grants?
Nothing new.
Nothing. Personnel, we already handled that. Shrewsbury Library Foundation?
We haven't had a meeting since our last trustee board meeting. Next meeting is in November.
I have to say that the Eric Kleinenberg presentation, which I know the foundations, was just wonderful. It was so inspirational. Thank you.
Yes, thank you to the foundation for that.
Yeah.
The board is reaching out to other library foundation boards to sort of pick their brains and, find out what they're doing to, to facilitate not only the use of funds, but actually fundraising ideas. So that we're working on that.
Good.
Great.
Right. Friends of the Library, we just had our book sale from 14th through the 17th.
Yeah,
Pretty successful.
right. It resulted in $4,910.70.
I thought just buy the bag for $10 was a great idea.
I think so. People really appreciated that.
It was funny to watch what some people put
I
in
know.
the bag.
Yeah, some of the bags were bursting in.
Oh, I
the
know,
seams.
yeah.
Yeah.
And some people brought their own bags that they then stuck our bags in, and it was like, oh boy. But it was good. I mean, people
It was
really,
good.
I helped to, put the books on the table one day. Like certain authors, there were like 5 or 6 books of that author. So if you wanted to read him or her,
Yeah.
so I thought it
It was
was,
very good.
the people were great. They wore their masks. They watched how many people. I mean, everything just went really
Right.
well.
Right. It's extremely well organized.
And I
right
didn't-
there.
I didn't buy a book, I have to admit. I'll give you a donation. I have too many books at home.
Yeah. I bought enough for both of us.
I know. I'll give a donation before I'll buy
I'm waiting
another
to be
book.
able to give back books now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a library, give them back for the next year's.
Well, that's why I didn't, because I thought, I'm not bringing more books back after. But I was
Claire
tempted.
Nagel was just
Just amazing.
She did a great
amazing.
job,
Amount of
yeah.
work that she
Amazing. Thank you
does
so much
for-
to Claire. So lucky to have her.
Are you accepting book donations?
No. Not yet. we're going to be discussing it at our next friends meeting, and I'll have.
Put them in your little free library.
That's true,
Yeah.
yeah. I bought this big Shakespeare tome, my daughter bought it, and she's decided she didn't like the smell of it, so. I don't know, it did smell fine to me, so I was thinking, maybe I'll just donate it.
But Claire said they had something like over 400 boxes of books, or
Yeah.
more.
Leftover?
No, when they
Oh,
started.
More than that.
More.
Yes. Over 600.
2 years worth of.
Yeah.
Yes, over 600 boxes.
600, oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah,
Were they all in the Friends?
in the
Yeah.
basement. No, a lot of them were in the right, in the basement.
They were all in the
Yeah.
basement,
Yeah.
yeah. Bring
Yeah.
all of them out when.
Amazing.
And the booksellers took a lot of books. They were amazing. I was watching how they worked.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a science to it,
Mhm.
and a
There-
scanner.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. It was fascinating as they were packing up. Dean helped them out,
Mhm.
and he said there wasn't 1 inch of room left in the van.
Oh.
They could just barely see out the back
Oh,
window. They
wow.
bought so many books.
Wow. Wow.
Mm,
Good for them. That's
Yeah.
Great, good for us, good for them.
exactly.
Okay, so thank you to the Friends that will certainly help support many of the programs that
Sure.
are offered here at the
Right,
library.
absolutely.
Okay, next on the agenda are policies. Do we have any new policies to
No.
review?
No.
Okay. Next is miscellaneous. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, basic orientation for new trustee members. When I came on board, I was given this white binder, you probably see it. And I just think it could, I would like to beef it up a little bit, perhaps provide more of a glossary and other references, and I would welcome other ideas, especially for Nima. You know, I'm just wondering what you're feeling you could use at this juncture in terms of what would help you to understand more of the working people coming on board. I know I felt this, didn't really understand all the acronyms or some of the financial issues that we have to deal with. And I know that it's available online, but maybe if it was all, paper, it's paper, but still something that we could just provide. I think it would have been helpful for me, and I was thinking maybe other people might appreciate that kind of reference as well. So,
Yeah, I had some thoughts, and I think one of the things that would have helped me, I was more a library person when it was the older library, and lesser as my kids they grew up and they were doing too many other things. And I would sit most of the time in the magazine section. I love sitting in the magazine section.
Yeah.
So what I would have liked, I think, coming on board is just like a new employee, like a facility tour, like what are the different rooms we have.
yeah.
Maybe like an org chart of the employees. So you guys constantly talk about who's who.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I do Google sometimes. I get some information, and I think that would that help. And just a job description. I kind of another one I had in mind was I think it would be nice to have a list of regular events in the library. So just as a starting point, and I know it's a live document you add and you remove things each month, but just to have it as a reference would be really helpful. But I think just getting the tour would have been like the first thing that would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
I've since walked through the library, and
But I think,
It's
I
a
agree, I
beautiful
think it would be
space.
nice to have a tour by a staff member to see what's behind the desk, that kind of thing.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Is that something that could be filmed? Because people might want to see it in the community
That's
as
a good
well.
idea. Yeah.
that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
I think the Worcester Library does something like that once every few weeks, which probably all got stopped by the pandemic, but on some kind of regular basis, I think they had tours of how a library works, sort of thing.
It's a great idea.
Mm.
We had actually done one during the pandemic.
It did.
Remember
It
behind
carried
the
on.
scenes tour,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
video. Mainly Mike and Sanya and stuff created that. But it is a good idea. Now we can go back and.
I mean, this is a really high-end library, so it's, to have it filmed and maybe even incorporate a small clip or two on our website will be, I think, a great attraction for others.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so modern. I mean,
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
the chairs and just everything is, the kids love the space.
Yes, they do. It's a wonderful space. So those are great ideas. Some of them, I thought of as well, especially the staff list. That would be really helpful.
Yes. The
Um,
organization.
And even the departments.
The departments.
Because
That's a
obviously
good point,
personnel
yeah.
changes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
frequently
Yeah.
also, but just the departments and what each department's responsible for
Yeah,
doing.
Yeah.
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 And we shouldn't overlook the MBLC, the Mass Board of Library Commissioners,
Exactly.
who I think regularly, has some new trustee
Yep,
training.
meetings or
that
training
they do.
services, yeah.
And those are very helpful.
Yeah, yeah. So
And I
just
think
advice.
Priya did give me a link to,
The
the
MBLC.
MBLC
Yeah,
website.
yeah.
Yep, and you can get on their email list as well.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
they
the
send
one
out a
of
lot
them,
of
yeah,
emails.
they're
Mhm.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I joined during the pandemic, so
Yeah.
I looked at everything online, like as opposed to the binder, but I'm still a paper person, so I think it's nice, I think once you've looked at that stuff online, you're like, where was that?
I
Where-
know,
so I
yeah.
think having like just a
Yeah.
tangible place to keep
Yeah.
all your things and to, if you need to refer to,
Sure.
so.
Well, I can certainly start working on this, but if other people have ideas outside of this meeting, please don't hesitate to contact me and I can start compiling that with Priya's help.
Sure.
And,
on the finance committee, we were talking about the same thing.
Oh, really?
At our last meeting, we were
right.
trying to put something together, so maybe
Yeah.
we'll get something
Yeah.
in shape.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'd suggest is the bylaws, because that's what I
Oh,
look at
that-
the most frequently.
That
Yeah.
I did share.
They are in here already.
And the updates that we had last year?
I did share the latest with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you did,
good,
yeah,
good,
but
okay.
it does need to be updated. for
Sure.
sure. Certainly, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, the other thing, some of us I know are town meeting members, but not everybody here on the board is, and I think it would be helpful even just to kind of give a really rough outline of town government and how the library fits into that. So, I don't want it to be too dense, but, just kind of a general overview of things. Okay.
And I'm happy to give you a tour of the facility at any time.
I probably love
Welcome
that.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. The other item under miscellaneous that I wanted to just review was the new way that we're signing warrants. I think that you all recall our last meeting was a little bit, I don't really remember a lot of it.
You were signing
I mean, we
away.
were signing and sharing, passing pens around and all of that. But I just wanted to make sure that people are comfortable with this new way of getting the warrants signed and done. So as it is now, 5 people are signing them. Myself, Nancy, and the 3 on the financial subcommittee, and that would be Claire, Joan, and Jeff. But I don't want others to feel left out. I mean, I know that they are being CC'd to you, but if there's any discomfort with that or any other ideas, certainly I think we should talk about it.
And Mary just sent me
Yeah.
an email yesterday saying that everyone should be able to sign it.
Oh, okay.
But once the majority has signed, then it's, Heidi can close it, or
Yes.
it's
Right.
5 people have signed, but it doesn't have to be the same 5 every time,
Okay.
because if one of you is on vacation or something, the next person would be able to sign. So
Okay.
everyone, all 9 of you would be able to see, view and sign,
Okay.
and the first 5 that sign, it.
Okay.
It would
I
say-
wonder if that was changed, because I had tried at the beginning to sign something.
And you couldn't do it?
I couldn't do it, and then I
Right.
emailed.
Because you have to sign,
Since
right? You have to,
last
like,
month,
assign
right?
signers.
Since last month, I signed it, and then I emailed saying, I'm trying to sign it, and she wrote back and she said, oh, I'm
Only
glad
5.
you're getting it, but you're not
You're not.
one of the ones
One of
that,
the-
one
yeah.
of you guys.
Right.
So, which is
Yeah.
fine. So maybe they changed
But
it.
since then,
She
yeah,
designates, she said she designated the signers, and if those 5 people didn't sign, it came back incomplete, like what you're saying.
right,
Yeah.
but that's because
But then
we
she
had
could
that
assign another.
discussion, right?
Is
You
it,
and-
so it is possible to modify the system?
We are going to modify it now because
Oh,
Mary,
okay.
I got this email from Mary just yesterday.
Okay.
And she said all 9 should be able to sign
Okay,
it.
so as long as,
Yeah.
that's fine, as long as the
Right.
system.
But
allows for that.
after the first 5 have signed it,
It's
then
closed.
it
It's
is
done.
in.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
That's,
I think that
better.
makes sense.
That's
And I
better.
think
Everyone
that's
should be
how
able to
it
view
was
it.
when we originally got the Docusign. I
Mhm.
think it was just whoever were the first 5, you know, like when we're
Right.
passing them around physically,
Right.
whoever
Yeah.
the first 5
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sign it, then it's, you know, it's complete. It doesn't mean other people can't, you know, review them and sign as well.
Right. Right, so she says that she's going to, Mary said she's going to set up a shared Google folder that the library trustees' signed payrolls and AB batches can be uploaded on a regular basis. This is how they do it at the school committee and other boards. So while these other boards, all members have to have access to sign off on the payrolls and accounts payable schedules. When there's a majority of the members' approval, the forms are uploaded.
Okay.
So I think that makes sense.
So we'll all get notification.
You will all see the able to
Okay.
view it, yes.
And even if people aren't one of the signatories, they can still review the warrant.
Yes.
Which I find very helpful. I know that when we sign here, don't have a whole lot of time to really study it, and when it's online, I think we can do so.
Right, and if you receive them regularly,
Yep.
one at a time, you
Yeah.
can
It's
yeah,
already
review
given
them.
me a much better idea of how the library operates. You know, and I'm actually reading them, paying more attention to
Sure.
them. I think it's actually a great change.
Mm.
Mhm.
So will we continue to get them all the time? Like
You
it's
will
not
get-
one
You
once a
will
year?
get them, yes, every 2 weeks for the payroll and
Okay.
every week for the accounts payable.
Okay. And is it working on the staff end? Is the person responsible for this? Is
Yes,
that-
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and Heidi has also created a sheet that she shares with me where she says, oh, the 5 people have signed it.
Good.
It's all done.
Good. So communication is a bit better in this way and
Yes.
more timely as well, which is
Right.
helpful.
Yeah.
Maybe a good thing that came out of the pandemic is Docusign.
It is easier.
Yeah.
it makes the time spent at the meeting much more,
Yes.
much better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Okay, so that's it for our items on the agenda, but I understand you have
Yes, I'd
a.
like to show the
Oh,
Great.
website.
so I'm gonna move.
Just head over there.
Are we getting close to a launch?
Pardon?
Are we getting close to launching it?
Post-launch? What did you
No,
say?
launch, to launch.
Close to
launching
launching.
it.
Close to launch, yes, yes, sorry. Yes, I'm going to show you, yeah, so these are the menu items on the top. Krista, you're focusing on that right now, don't you? You don't have to worry about it.
Do we want to dim some of the lights?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that good?
Thank you.
Okay, so these are the main menu items. Under About, you have the Board of Library Trustees, Directory, Hours, and Closing. So I'm going to show at least one from each of them, it's the sub-menu items. Library Hours of Operation. It's going to be very simple. That's the plan. Etc. And then you have the library hours, contact us, the telephone number, and the email. And so that is about. And there are images for each of these also, icons, so that it's easier to click on one of them. The library trustees, the board information, the board members. I think we're going to move the board members to the top, and then bylaws and strategic plans would be below that. And every page will have the contact information and the library hours. So these are under about, and then I'll show you one from here. Events links to the calendar, and I'll show you the library cafe. Just, oh, she's not changed the word diamond.
Oh, that's nice. The slideshow.
Mhm. So that's Library Cafe. And the calendar, of course, will link to our calendar. Services, we have 3D printing, computers, Wi-Fi, how to get library cards. The librarian recommends. This is our Instagram, Pinterest, and Goodreads page where we have lists, curated lists, and book reviews. Most of them written by Amanda, who's here, part-time reference librarian. She's a resident writer. She's a very creative writer. And then we have this personalized recommendations if people want to request.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice.
That's great.
That's Roxanne.
Yeah, so that's good.
So then if you click that, they get an email or something?
Yes,
Like a
they'll
form?
directly get the email, and you say,
I like
there's a
this.
form there to fill, yeah, like that, try this. So then it is under services. Then we have resources. This is all our digital media, genealogy, or let me show you the library of things.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, all the categories that we have. as
Kitchen
well.
tools, I never knew you had that. Wow.
Which one?
Kitchen tools.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the chocolate
Ice cream
fountain is.
maker,
Yeah.
Ice cream maker. So when you click on garden tools, you
Look
will
at
see
that.
all the
Oh,
different
that's
tools
great.
that we have. I think the descriptions are going to be there. I don't know if it's added already. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
each one would have.
So it's a lot of content to.
Yes.
Can you
Populate.
reserve them in here? So if you wanted that tool?
These are all the library of things materials you can't request. You have to come in and you can't place a hold.
Okay, so you have to see
Yeah.
if it's available.
You'll have to
Come in.
and pick them up, yeah. Yeah, so each of these is, I think they're still working on the other library.
And how long do you keep them? Can you keep them for?
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can borrow 6 at a time.
Oh,
Because we have so many things now. We kept adding during the pandemic too. And the policy and all that is there. Okay, the next is teens. Let's look at teen resources. The databases. Guess they're still working on this one. Children's programming. So they've tried to keep the same, the image from the icon, the logo that we have, the colors and the image from the logo. So story times, this is the generic ones.
That's great.
So it's not too text heavy, that's the, that's the aim. Yeah. And then get involved, you have the displays and exhibits, the information about the display case. It's a carousel too. So pictures from past displays and the policy. And then the foundation. The foundation should actually take you directly to the foundation website. That extra step shouldn't be there. Friends of the library. I think they're still working on this page. Oh, they have the programs, book sales, summer reading, commons, concerts, kick-off carnival, museum passes, scholarship information, the most recent one, and membership, how you can become a Friends member. So that's, I'm not sure if everything is done.
So there's a search box up there
There is a search box, yes. So you can search the catalog or you can search the website. So this is a toggle switch. Yeah, and my account is right there, so I think it's integrated with Evergreen.
So if you search the catalog, does it kick you over to CW Mars?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you had some photos of the actual library, since our library is so beautiful.
Sure, I think it's under mission and history.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, mission statement, library history. This is the FAQs.
Yeah, a couple of interior shots would be really nice too.
Sure,
Because,
sure,
you know,
yes.
kind of looking down.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
I
each of
agree.
these has like computers Wi-Fi, and there
Oh,
you
there
have
you go.
pictures
Yeah.
of computers. Yeah, all the pages are not complete, that's why I was showing you some of them. Yeah, children's room should be, children should have a picture of it, beautiful children's room.
Looks great though.
Courtyard,
So we'll
right.
soon have, yeah, the courtyard and stuff. So we'll soon have
Loaded with snow.
the focus group questionnaire, and I'll share that with all of you. Yeah, there have been a lot of little things that they've needed to, reach out to vendors, like that, even the databases to get the right icon to match the size and everything. They've had to deal with a lot of external vendors. The calendar, we have to work with the Plymouth Rock. It is the software that is used for our online calendar, study rooms and all that. So, integrating all of that, getting the widgets and all that has taken time.
So this looked like a huge amount of work.
Yes.
No kidding, yeah.
There's some,
I know
are
it's
you using some content management system that's
No,
good
they're
for
just
libraries,
doing
or-
it.
or just HTML? Oh my goodness.
It's like Word,
WordPress?
WordPress
Oh,
actually,
okay,
it's
that's
not
nice.
the
Yeah,
HTML.
WordPress is,
Right.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
WordPress.
And there is some
Yeah.
security issues with WordPress though.
It is like WordPress.
Yeah, but it has more security built into it than WordPress.
I bet it does. Yeah. So, at least we have something to show now, and the
Exciting.
logo is there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be easy to navigate and easy to access the various things.
That's great.
It'd be so nice.
Had they thought about putting a separate tab in that banner that says catalog? I'm just wondering if, or is the only way to get to the catalog through the
I
search
think
box?
it's only there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about resources? Maybe it's under there. Doesn't look like it.
So how would
You're right that
work?
people might look there.
Yeah.
They might look there for it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just
Yeah.
wondering so would you just type in a title or a author there, or how would that work?
Let's try our. Oops, I hope it works.
You might need to put in your password.
I'm just looking at the catalog. That's it.
Well, she'd probably be in the, oh, okay.
No, it's not integrated.
She's not in there.
But that-
Who's she?
Who's she? We don't have any books by this author.
Not everybody's gonna have it.
Maybe it's not yet integrated with
Yeah.
the catalog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think people are used to seeing a website search bar there, but
Yeah.
I think you're right that
Yeah.
people might look, I mean, like
Yeah.
keep it up there, but also put
Yeah.
it in the navigation bar.
Right.
It's probably pretty easy to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just
You
a
mean
link.
on this, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Catalog.
As a tab there.
Yeah, I think right in that bar is a good
Yeah.
idea.
It's
It's just so clear if
If
it's
that,
real.
if that
Oh.
is integrated, why
Yeah.
not? It's- I'm not sure.
You go to how do I?
How do I get to the catalog?
Did you say you were going to have a focus group kind of play with
Yes,
this
we
for a
have the
while?
questions ready, but we want to make it more, add, like, it shouldn't be a problem in this one.
Well, I thought I
Being
saw
able to access
somewhere
the
browse the catalog.
Pardon?
There was somewhere it said browse the catalog, so you could just go directly and, what did I see?
Maybe it was on one of those little icon things, the circles.
I mean, if you scroll down.
How do I access the catalog? Get a library card. Yeah, maybe it's not integrated yet with Evergreen.
That should definitely be under how to.
How do I access, yeah. But it should be easier than that. You shouldn't even have to go to how
Right.
do I.
It's probably the main thing that
It should
people
be
are
the
going to be
main thing,
looking
yeah.
for.
Yeah, but that was the aim, but we'll see. Any other questions?
It's very pleasing to the eye. I like all the color.
Mhm.
It's very,
Yeah.
And the white space is good.
Mhm.
The general simplicity of what's in front of you.
Yes.
Right.
That's good.
No, yeah,
Pictures.
We'll definitely have updates.
great.
Yeah, no clutter.
Beautiful, Priya.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, and see, a simple
Oh,
thing
yeah.
like this, we're trying to get all of them in one line, and
Mhm.
apparently, the Influx, the vendor who's host, the host of our website, they have to get back to change the footer. So it seems like it should be a very simple thing, but they have to do it and we can't.
Huh.
So, stuff like that we're working on.
Looks great.
Very good.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
A long time in the work.
Right.
Yes, 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 it has been a very long time.
Did you ask when it was gonna come be live? I can't remember what the answer was. When is it gonna be live? Do you have a?
I don't have a date.
No.
I mean, it should be very soon.
Oh, good. Good. All right. Is there anything else to come for discussion tonight? Oh, okay. Otherwise, I guess, entertain a motion for adjournment. Our next meeting is November 23rd.
It's the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh, my.
That's fine, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm not going to be here,
Oh,
just to let you know.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.